Hey everybody, Pastor Mike here, and hope that you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful week. And instead of doing our podcast, as we would typically do it, I wanted to take the opportunity to share some vision with you for our Easter experience that we're going to be doing. We have Stations of the Cross coming up. We have our Good Friday, our Easter extravaganza, and our Celebration Sunday, our Easter Celebration Sunday. So I think it's going to be a great time. But sometimes it's not just enough to talk. Sometimes we have to, as leaders, kind of let people in on some of the vision casting. And we're going to do some vision casting today, and I hope that it will encourage your spirit as you kind of see some of the things that we have in store for you. And at the end of this video, I'm actually going to show you Stations of the Cross at another church and kind of what it looks like and what it's going to look like in a similar fashion to what we're going to be doing Holy Week from the Monday to Thursday. So you'll come in on the Monday at 4, and you'll come in through these doors. And if you're volunteering, you'll have somebody right here at the check-in. And what they're going to do is there's actually 9 stations altogether, but one is for Easter Sunday. So when you come in, you'll do all your COVID contact tracing and all that kind of stuff. And then what you'll do is you'll get your rock. And what the rock is, and every person in your family or your cohort or your bubble, they're going to get a rock as well. And we're going to write your name and their name on the rock. And the rock signifies the weight of your sin. And that's the first station. And there'll be some scripture that you can read. And it's going to be just located over by what would normally be the welcome desk. And you'll get your rock. You'll get your map of how everything's going to go down. And then you're going to continue the journey. And all of this area is going to be totally pipe and draped off. So some of the things on the walls and different things that you would normally see, you will not see. And just so you know, Stations of the Cross is something that is a new idea on an old idea. It was done by the Catholic Church. No, we're not Catholic. We have, Luther nailed the 99 Thesis to the door of the Roman Catholic Church and why we have that freedom. But there's some things that we actually got from that, from Catholicism, that we're missing and we need to re-engage with. And I think this is a great way of being able to learn and hit all of our senses. So any station that you go to is going to have a few different things. And I'll actually walk to one of the stations right here that we have set up as an example. And you'll be able to see this on Sunday. And I know it's a little bit dark over here, but you can still see behind me. So you'll see right here, there's a painting kind of in between. Right here, you'll see that painting. And then you'll see what the station is called on the side. This one is the Crucifixion. You can't see for the big cross in the way. And then you'll see something on the side here. And really all that is it's just instructions. So we see some scripture that you'll read. And then as you go down, you will see that there's some instructions for you to be able to follow. And every station is like that. So that is what you're going to get at the first station to the very last station. And like I said before, when you walk through, it's going to be all kind of roped off, and there'll be pipe and drape everywhere, black curtain everywhere. And so once you've gone to the first station, and I'm a little bit all over the place, so please bear with me. Once that you go to the first station, you get your rock, which signifies the weight of your sin. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the next station. So we're going in order here biblically. So then you're going to actually go to the Last Supper. And that's just going to be over here. So we have the 2 windows here. The great big panel station with the art piece. That's going to be in front of these 2 windows here. And you'll be able to take part in communion, read scripture with your family, or if it's just you, that's fine. And you'll be able to really hear something as well. So there'll be different music at each station. Once that you're done with communion, you'll be able to go through here. We won't have the chairs over at the side here. And you'll be able to actually come through here. This will be all sectioned off. And you'll be able to walk in through here. So you see our parent lounge right there right now. But this will actually be turned into the Garden of Gethsemane. So we'll have plants and astroturf and different things like that here. A great big rock is depicted when Jesus went to pray alone. And you'll be able to pray in here, and you'll hear different sounds of nature and different kinds of music and pray. And there'll be a bench in here, or you can kneel down at the rock and pray. And we'll have a prayer on this wall as well that you can recite if you're not comfortable with that. And really what this is doing is it's hitting all your learning centers as you go to each station. So you can see, you can hear, and you can you can experience all of those different senses of learning. So that will be station number 3, the garden, okay? So as we move on here, just give it a second to focus here. As we move on, you'll be guided through with the pipe and drape, and then we're going to go to the denial. And this is the station where Peter denies Jesus and the rooster crows. So right in behind here, we're going to have the great big board again with the art piece and the instructions and the scripture. And it'll be just right here. And we're going to have a big chalkboard right over here by the windows. And what you're going to do is you're going to write down, I have denied Jesus 3 times on the chalkboard. And then you can go to the next station whenever you are able to. And then that will go in here, and you'll be coming this way. And what we've got set up in here is we'll have actually quite a few different stations in the auditorium. So we're going to have it big, wide open here because you're going to hear a lot of different sounds as you walk through, and it will be a little bit overwhelming, but we really want you to understand kind of all of the craziness that was going on. So over here, just where some of the volunteers would actually be seated, we're actually going to have what's called condemnation. And this is where we'll actually have Pilate. You'll be Pilate, and you'll read scripture again. And then we're going to have a great big sink where you'll be able to wash your hands and step up on a platform like somebody who is in that position in Rome would be doing. And we'll have Roman Colosseum pillars and different things like that. And you'll see some of these things that we're going to have in the video just following the walkthrough. But I wanted to paint you a picture of what we're going to be doing this Easter. So that's condemnation. And then what you'll do is you'll be guided through here again. And right over at the front of the auditorium, you're going to see this big station at the front. And it's going to be the suffering station. And that one is going to have a cat of 9 tails, a real cat of 9 tails. And you're going to be able to take a paintbrush, dip it in red paint, and you'll hear the sound on the great big speakers that we have in the auditorium of the whip every few seconds. And as you're putting the paint and actually kind of spreading it across a great big canvas that we will have here for you to do that, you'll sometimes at the same exact motion is when you'll hear the whipping sound. And that is the suffering station. Then we'll have a crown of thorns right on the stage, right over here. And then we're going to have the crucifixion station, which you've already seen. And we'll have that. You can pick the nails up here. And then we're going to have the cross kind of put across some of these chairs here, and you'll be able to hammer the nail into the cross. And think about this, you're going to hear all these sounds in the same room, and it will be quite an experience for you, maybe your family as well. But here's the beautiful thing, we come to the end here, and as we come to the end, we'll have the last station for the Holy Week. And that'll be the Forgiveness Station. And the Forgiveness Station will be here. There'll be some music playing, talking about the forgiveness of that Jesus gives us, and that we've been forgiven because of his sacrifice on the cross. And remember that stone that you got? Well, you're going to be able to leave that stone in one of the buckets here because you no longer have the weight of your sin when you've accepted Christ because of what he's done for us. And you'll leave the stone in a bucket. And then we have another cross that will have corkboard on it, and you'll be able to pin a little tag that you'll write that says, I am forgiven. You put your name there, and then you pin that to the cross, and then you're able to leave. But we will also have a prayer team here if you would like to recommit your life to Christ, or you'd like to make a first-time commitment, or even if it just really touched your life. And COVID, restrictions apply, but we still believe in the power of prayer. So because of that, we really want to have a prayer team here. And I guess really just kind of going through this whole thing, I believe that this will be a great opportunity for us to be able to reach out to family and friends in a time where really we're not allowed to do too much. And this follows all the guidelines. It's very safe. It's very COVID friendly. And the beautiful thing is, it is a religious gathering, right? So I want to encourage you to not only invite someone, but maybe volunteer. As a young adults small group that we've been going for quite a while now, it's great to talk about the things of God, but what about doing? What can we do to make an impact in our community and in our sphere of influence? We've been talking about that for quite some time now. And I think this is a great opportunity on the Monday to the Thursday from 4 until 8 p.m. each of those days to be able to invite somebody to actually see something, to actually hear something, and to actually do something. And the crucifixion of Jesus is a very historically accurate piece. Whether you believe that he rose again or not, and you're not a believer, it's still, you can't deny that he was a real person, because he absolutely was. And I think that it's a great historical way of going through what Jesus endured for you and me, and it might be a great way of being able to introduce the gospel to somebody who may not have had that opportunity. Let's not just assume that people know who Jesus is and what he did. Let's invite them and show them. And, I think it's going to be a really powerful time. So what I want us to do is now, I want us to take a few moments and actually pray for Stations of the Cross, and maybe ask the Lord in your own time if he would want you to volunteer and be a part of this thing. We need about 4 to 5 volunteers to be people that would make themselves available in these rooms if people had questions or concerns or anything like that, every night from 4 until 8. And I think that would be fantastic. Not only that, I think that our Good Friday service is going to be fantastic. I also believe that our Easter extravaganza is going to be great. And this is my last thing I want to challenge you in. I really, really strongly want to challenge you in sharing and plastering Stations of the Cross and anything going on for Easter at Royal View, because I really strongly believe it's going to meet the needs of people eternally. And I think that it's going to really be a beacon of hope for a lot of people in this time. And guess what? We're carriers of hope because we have Jesus in us. So I want to challenge you. Share the posts like crazy. Share the posts. Be annoying. I don't want to offend anyone. Everyone's offended about everything right now. But at least in this time, it's a great excuse and a great reason to be able to share the goodness of our God. So I really strongly want to challenge you. Share, share, share. You have no idea how that could reach and meet somebody at a really low point this season. The amount of different things that are going on in people's lives. We need hope in our communities. Think about the teachers that are going through things. Don't think that, I don't want to offend anyone. Like I said before, Everybody's offended no matter what you do right now. So I would encourage you to do something that really isn't offensive. It's just historically accurate. And we know that Jesus died. And the last station is Station 9, Resurrection. That's the Resurrection Station. And on the Easter Sunday, we're going to have it right up here, just over here where the piano is. And we're going to have that for all to see. If anyone missed some of the stations, they'll get a taste of that. But Jesus is not in the grave. He's risen. So we will have that station ready. And then we're going to put the cross. And we're going to put the cross up here. And we're going to, all of the hammering points, we're going to drill those out, and we're going to have a light shining through it, so it will represent all the people that went through for Stations of the Cross. So again, I want to encourage you now in this time, pray for Stations of the Cross, that it would meet people where they're at, and that it would be a great ministry tool. But it's not going to do the work on its own. We can't build it and expect people to come. We have to invite people. We have to reach out to people. And what a great way to be able to do that this season. So I'm done talking, and now watch this video of Stations of the Cross in Brantford in 2017, and hope it will paint an even greater picture than I've already tried to do in this past 16 minutes. God bless you.
Jeremiah,